Today we are going to be doing a 5 best and 5 worst, a classic series here on my channel. And if it's your first time stumbling upon one of my videos, first of all, hi. Second of all, my 5 best and 5 worst series is basically where I talk about my 5 favorite and my 5 least favorite products in a particular category. Today we're going to be talking all about new product launches. I've been testing out a lot of products lately, so I have gathered my top 5 favorites and of course my top least favorite products to talk about with you guys today. So it's going to be a fun one, and if you like these types of videos, definitely hit the thumbs up button and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's get into it. So the first product that we're going to talk about is this Naturium Phyto Glow Lip Mask. So I've been playing around with a lot of the Naturium products lately, and I gotta say I've been very, very impressed. Their Phyto Glow lip balms, which I think they're probably the most known for, I have been loving. This is such a great, very, very, very hydrating tinted lip balm that gives really great shine to the lips. I was actually debating between mentioning this and mentioning this in today's video, so I guess this is my way of kind of mentioning both. But the Phyto Glow lip mask ended up winning the spot because over the last couple of weeks as I've been using it, every single time I put it on, I'm just more and more impressed because of how effective it is and how great it just moisturizes my lips. This only entered my life like a couple weeks ago, and I really wish that I had this in the dead of winter when my lips were just insanely dry, because I know that this would have helped me immensely. This is a fresh one that I just opened, so it's barely been dug into, but it is a potted lip balm that looks like this. It's very similar to something like the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, which I love and I've loved for years. I almost feel like it goes a step beyond the Laneige lip mask. It's also significantly less expensive. This is, I believe, around $12 Canadian, which is pretty awesome. It's thick without being gloopy. There's jojoba oil, avocado oil, shea butter in here. So it's just really, really, really hydrating. And I think the price point is great. And it's just a really awesome product. I would definitely recommend this. I've been dying to talk to you guys about this next product. This is the new Milk Hydro Grip Gel Tint. I'm telling you right now, you are going to hear me talk your ear off about this product probably for the entire summer. So this is supposed to be a hydrating skin tint that has more of a light coverage. And typically when it comes to hydrating skin tints, they're not going to be the most long wearing. It's just not going to be the type of product that's really going to set and lock down on the face. And I don't know how Milk did it, but they figured out how to make a formula that doesn't just give you like a beautiful light to medium coverage that's super glowy and that is really hydrating as well, but it also totally locks down and will last the entire day. I have been testing out this skin tint pretty extensively over the last couple of weeks. Like, it's pretty much been one of the only skin tints that I've been putting on. Started using it when my skin wasn't in the happiest state. It was very, very dry, very flaky. And it just wasn't really accepting foundation very well at that time. But this is such a hydrating and flattering formula. It looks amazing even when my skin was really at that very dry, very flaky state. The shade that I wear is number 4, and at my current skin tone, it matches me pretty much perfectly. Don't know how much you would love this if you had oily skin. If you have tried this and you have oily skin, I would love to hear your review in the comments, because I obviously can't speak to that since I do have dry skin. But because it is pretty glowy, I think that if you had normal to dry skin, you would probably appreciate this a little bit more. But let me know your thoughts in the comments if you have tried this. Another base product that I've been dying to talk to you guys about is the Armani Luminous Silk Perfect Glow Concealer. Listen, I thought I was covered when it came to glowy hydrating concealers because there's so many in my collection that I have already that I love, that works so great. The Tower 28 Serum Concealer is one that immediately comes to mind. Like, that one is one of my everyday favorites. And I didn't really think there was more that could impress me at this point. But as soon as I tried this, I was immediately so impressed. And I actually feel that it's quite different from a lot of the other more like glowy hydrating concealers that I've tried. So if I were to compare this to something like the Tower 28 Serum Concealer, the Tower 28 one is much creamier in texture and definitely has a touch more coverage. This isn't that far off. I would say it's about a light to medium coverage, but the texture is much, much, much lighter. It sits very, very thinly on the skin. It's so thin that I really don't even feel like I need to blend it out with a brush or a sponge. Even if I apply like quite a bit, I can very easily melt it into the skin with my finger. And when I say melt, like, this concealer melts into the skin. It looks just so stunning. I feel like the lighting right now is perfect, so you can really see the finish that it gives, but it gives this stunning glow. Look at that. It gives the most flattering, beautiful glow underneath the eyes that just brightens up the under eyes and makes them look really nice and fresh. If you have mature skin, you would probably absolutely love this. I actually think my mom would be obsessed with this concealer. And Mom, I know you're watching this video right now, and she's probably adding this to her cart as we speak. And because it is a pretty thin formula, it's not really going to crease very much if you don't set it with powder. I almost always like to use powder nowadays to set my under eyes, so I probably will regardless, but I do feel like you can get away with not setting this, and it's not really going to crease that much. And what I really appreciate about this is that you have this gorgeous glowy finish, but it's not a wet or sticky formula. So I'm touching my under eyes right now. It doesn't feel like it's transferring off immediately. Like, it already feels like it's pretty much set down. It fits in just perfectly in my glowy concealer roster. I'm very happy for it to be there as well. I'm gonna do my brows, apply some mascara and my bronzer, and then I'll be back to talk about the next product. Next, we have a new blush from Tower 28. These are the Get Set powder blushes. These are very, very, very new in my life. I just received them actually at the end of last week. So they're fresh. They're fresh off the press. Cream and liquid blushes have definitely taken up the spotlight for blushes over the last year or two. And when it comes to new blush formulas that have been launching, that has definitely been the primary focus, I would say, for most brands. We haven't really been seeing that many new and exciting powder blush formulas released. At least not really any that I have personally been really excited to try or that have piqued my interest or made me excited about the formula. When I found out that Tower 28 was releasing their own powder blush, I just had a gut feeling that it was going to be really good, and I was correct. So they say that this powder blush is supposed to be almost like a setting powder and a blush came together and had a baby. It's supposed to be very smoothing and blurring like a setting powder. And that was the very first thing that I noticed when I put these on. I noticed how smoothly they applied and how it really just gave like my cheeks a really beautiful airbrushed, almost blurred finish. So there are 6 shades in this line. I actually swatched all 6 of the shades on Instagram. I'll put the video here in case you want to see what they all look like. I feel like they're all really, really beautiful. I think they did a great job with selecting the types of shades for this collection. I would say that my personal favorite shade of the bunch is Saltel Slushy. I mean, this has just been the type of color that I've been most drawn towards in blush in general. It's like a mid-tone muted rose. Only color in this collection that I'm not the biggest fan of, just because it doesn't look great with my skin tone, is Malibu Cooler. It's just like a really cool tone Barbie pink. I feel like this would work great if you have a fairer skin tone, but on me it doesn't quite work. They are pretty buildable. You can get a pretty punchy color with these if you want, and also very blendable. So if you do over apply it, you can very easily just blend it a little bit and you'll be able to tone down the color that way too. And a matte blush in general is just really great to incorporate in a very glowy base routine like what I have going on right now, because it just will balance things out a little bit. We made it to number 5. The Makeup Forever Super Boost Gloss. If you follow me on Instagram, then you saw the moment that I fell deeply in love with this gloss. Wow is all I gotta say. I don't even really want to say much. I'm just gonna put it on so you can see what it looks like, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, let me just zoom in, get nice and close. I'm gonna line my lips first with MAC Cool Spice. My lips are so hydrated and soft right now from that lip mask. There you go. There's the effect of it. The shade that I'm gonna use is one of my favorites in the collection, and it's Wherever Walnut. It's the applicator. It's pretty chunky. Oh, the texture. How can I describe this so you guys can really understand what this texture is like? It feels very, very smooth and gel-like, and it has a thicker consistency to it, so it just feels very plush on the lips. This isn't like a thin, lightweight gloss, and because it has that plush texture, it just sits right above all of your lip lines. So it makes your lips look so glass-like, so juicy. This shade Wherever Walnut is definitely my favorite. I also really do like the Limitless Brown, but I cannot find it anywhere, which is really annoying. It's kind of just like a little bit of a cooler, darker tone compared to this. Wherever Walnut is my number 1 though. It's like the perfect, more neutral nude. It does have a very light cooling sensation to it. It doesn't feel tingly to me, although I have read some reviews of people saying it does feel tingly to them, so something to keep in mind. The one negative I will say is the scent. The scent and the taste is a little bit off-putting. It's not my absolute favorite. It's subtle enough where sometimes I don't even really notice it. And weirdly enough, I don't know if this is just in my head, but there are some shades that I find are more intense in like the scent and the taste department than others. The taste and smell is also weird. It's kind of a mix between like flowery and minty. I don't quite know how to place it. I am also very sensitive to these types of things, and I will often not even wear a lip product if it's too aggressive in the scent department, and it hasn't hit that level for me. And honestly, because it looks so good, I'm willing to look past it. One of the best lip gloss formulas that I've tried. Bold statement, I know, but it's the truth. It's so freaking good. Let me show you another shade just for funsies because I have it right next to me. This is Boundless Berry. How pretty. It actually ties in the cheeks very nicely. All right, it's time to get into my 5 least favorite products, the ones that have not impressed me. So while the Armani Luminous Silk Perfect Glow Concealer made it in my top 5, unfortunately, the Luminous Silk Highlighter has made it into my bottom 5. So this is the cheek highlighter. And the reason why this has landed on my worst list is because it is a very, very chunky, very metallic cheek highlighter. The last thing that I want in my highlighter is chunky shimmer or metallic sheen, because as soon as it has one of those two things, or in this case both, it just ends up looking really, really obvious and really unnatural. And when I highlight my skin, I want it to look natural. Of course, everybody's preferences are going to be different, but I know that a lot of you guys share the same preferences as me. So if you are also looking for a liquid highlighter that gives you that like glossy, glowy look, this ain't gonna be it. When I first swatched this on my hand, I actually thought it was an eye tint because it's so metallic and so sparkly, and honestly, would be gorgeous as an eye tint, and I will probably be using it as such moving forward, but this is just not a type of finish that I would want to put on the tops of my cheekbones. And of course it's Armani, so it is pricey, and I just don't think it's special enough to warrant its price. So Prada Beauty recently launched in Canada, and I had a bunch of the products actually sent to me in PR, and I was very, very, very excited to receive them because I never even touched any of the Prada Beauty products, so I was really excited to see what they were all about, and I expected a lot because it's Prada. I wanted luxe, high-end, beautiful packaging, beautiful formulas. I want it to feel bougie. And the first thing that I thought when I was playing around with the products before I even swatched or smelt or like did anything with them was, I kind of wish the packaging was just a little bit more beautiful. And it's not to say that this is ugly packaging, it's definitely not, but this does not feel like super high-end, luxe, gorgeous packaging. The eyeshadow palette especially I found to be really disappointing. First of all, I don't really love mirrored packaging like this because it gets so fingerprinty. There's just nothing about this packaging that screams luxe to me. It just feels very basic. And this little quad of eyeshadows is $100 Canadian. I'm sorry, that's crazy. And listen, I love like a bougie luxe eyeshadow palette, but there's just nothing about this that screams $100 to me. Honestly, haven't really played around too much with them on my eyes, but I have swatched them and they feel nice. They feel creamy. There's some good pigment there, but there's nothing about it that I would pay $100 for. Because there are brands out there that I do feel like really do make very luxe feeling products, like Westman and Atelier, I think is a really nice example. Their products really do feel very luxe. Even their blushes, like they're heavy. I love the magnetic closure. There's something just beautiful about the whole experience of the product. And that's what I would expect from a brand like Prada, right? So especially at that price point. Now the lip products are what I was most excited to try. And I think the packaging for the lip product is nice. It's not the nicest lip product packaging out there. I feel like it could have a little bit more weight to it to kind of make it feel a little bit more luxe. They're $65 Canadian, and just for reference, like a YSL lipstick is, I believe, $58 Canadian. So even more expensive than like a YSL lipstick. This is a lightweight soft matte lipstick. There are a lot of formulas out there that are very, very similar to this. I do really like the finish. I do really like the way that it looks and wears. The fragrance on this lipstick is beyond intense. It smells like somebody poured a bottle of floral perfume into it. I just don't understand why brands do this, especially luxe brands. Why do they insist on putting strongly floral fragrances in their lip products? I don't think anybody wants that. Somebody needs to tell these brands that nobody wants that. I would rather it be completely unscented or just give me like a soft vanilla and I would be so happy. So even though the actual formula of the lip product is nice, the fragrance of it is not nice and it completely ruins it for me, unfortunately. And then combine that with the price tag and the fact that even the packaging just doesn't really like give me that je ne sais quoi that I was hoping for. This just immediately landed on the worst list. unfortunately. Next, we have the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewy Flush. So this is a serum blush, and it's supposed to be like a hybrid between skincare and a blush. And I expected that a product like this, just based off of what this is all about, is going to be on the sheer side. Like, I didn't expect that this was going to be the most pigmented, intense blush out there. And when it comes to reviewing products, you need to consider what the intention of the product is. And I understood that that was the intention of the product. However, I need something. And the real problem with this product is that it gives nothing. You get some pigment when you first swatch it, but as soon as you start to blend it out into the skin, it pretty much completely disappears. Where did it go? I mean, what else can I say? Like, the product just does not show up, which kind of sucks because I feel like there was some nice potential with this. I like the idea of it. Like, I like the idea of a skincare blush hybrid, but I mean, I can't use this as a blush if it doesn't even give me any color, right? So I'm trying to think of like other ways that I can use something like this because I feel like there's potential here, but I just don't know. So if you guys have any tips or any ways that you use this where you do enjoy the product, please let me know. But yeah, that was just really disappointing, unfortunately. So this is a no for me. I need to have a conversation with Josie Moran. Their body butters used to be some of my absolute favorite body butters. I repurchased their argan oil vanilla body butter for years and years and years. And then they decided to reformulate. And not only did they reformulate their body butter, but they also decided to change all of their scents. Unfortunately, changed the vanilla scent, and it no longer smells like the same gorgeous vanilla fragrance that they used to have in their original formula, which, by the way, was like the best smelling vanilla ever. Like, it was sweet without being too sweet, and it just smelled delicious, and it just no longer exists. The new vanilla fragrance just isn't quite there. It kind of has this like glue undertone to it that I'm just not so into. Like, there's something about it that I just don't quite like. And I haven't really found another scent in their reformulated body butters that I've been connected to, that I've enjoyed, unfortunately. So they just launched a new fragrance in their whipped argan oil body butter called Golden Hour. It's supposed to be warm and spicy with amber and white musk notes, which just sound up my alley. While I do get like the white musk and the amber notes from this, it ends up just smelling like sunscreen, like pure sunscreen. And I put it on pretty much my entire body when I first tried it, and I had to re-shower to take it off because I could not stand the scent. And it makes me so sad because the actual formula of the body butter is so beautiful. And listen, there's the unscented version, and I'm happy to use the unscented version, but I just wish that they can get the fragranced versions of their body butters to be as magical as they once were. So Golden Hour just really, unfortunately, missed the mark for me. Perfumes are obviously so subjective. What I like, you might hate, and what you like, I might hate. So really take this next product with a grain of salt. But if you feel like we're very aligned in fragrance likes and dislikes, then maybe this is relevant to you. So Ellis Brooklyn has some really, really gorgeous scents. One actually that I really love is this one. This is Miami Nectar. It smells like a vacation in a bottle. It smells so, so, so good. I can actually see this being a scent that I will be wearing a ton this summer. It's delicious. But then there's Guava Granita. Guava Granita, ooh, is just not gonna be it for me. The top notes are guava juice, banana. I've never seen banana as a top note in a perfume. That's actually so funny. Bergamot, tropical water lily. The mid notes are melon, coconut palm, mango blossom. And then there's also vanilla, sandalwood, and almond milk. And honestly, that sounds great on paper, but oh my God, it is the most sickly sweet perfume I think I've ever smelled in my life. I sprayed this on myself when I first got it, and I again wanted to shower it off so quickly. I'm almost not even able to get any of those notes that I just mentioned because it's so overpowering. I really do like a sweet and fruity scent, but for me to really enjoy a fragrance that's sweet and fruity, I want it to be balanced and also grounded. It feels very hyper and high and exciting, but without anything to like bring it back down to earth. Miami Nectar I feel like is a really great example, both sweet and fruity, but there's some musk in it that I find brings it back down to earth and grounds it for me and makes it much more wearable. So unfortunately, it's just not for me. So that finishes off today's 5 best and 5 worst. I hope that you guys enjoyed hearing all my thoughts on all of these new products. Let me know all of your thoughts, of course, in the comments down below. I would love to hear them, and hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy this series and want to see more, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.